let's jump ahead, right? Let's get to 2020 at Oklahoma. You had a breakout year, 13 tackles for loss, 8.5 sacks. You played both defensive end and defensive tackle in what
Right.
was supposed to be a slim down, faster, quote unquote speed D, right, under
Right.
Coach Grinch. How did you acclimate to that system, and why do you think you had such a great 2020?
So I know first and foremost, it starts off like mental. When people say the game is 90% mental, that is wholeheartedly 100% true. Because as you followed me for a while. Early in my career, I didn't have much playing time or success, and it's not because I didn't have the physical attributes. Because I was roughly the same size I was in 2019 as I was in 2020. Then with the hire of Coach Jamar came, and I got to give him a lot of praise, man. I mean, he came in that spring. Then as you know, Ronnie Perkins was suspended the first half of the season in that 2020 season. Coach Kane came up to me, got to know me a little bit that first time I met him. Then the next day, or like the next time we had a real conversation was before the first day of spring ball. And Coach Kane straight up told me, he said, "Hey man," he said, "I don't care what the narrative was in the past about you not playing much or all this and that." He said, "Who's to say Ronnie Perkins has to start when he gets back?" And that hit me. Ronnie Perkins was a full out dog. I mean, play after play, his freshman year, sophomore year, dog. So I'm like, dang, either he don't know who Ronnie Perkins is, or he got real faith that I can do this. So next thing you know, that just clicked mentally for me. I was like, you know what? I was like, man, he's right. Like I'm here for a reason, and I'm gonna prove to these people why. Then, I got to give a lot of credit to Coach Grinch and Coach Riley because after that 2019 season, Coach Riley sat me down and also was like, like you need to figure out who you want to be. Like we see flashes of this, but we also see this. And then Coach Grinch also invested in me. So in how Grinch's scheme was, obviously, getting penetration, getting in the backfield. Obviously, people have their opinions on it, but it helped me out to get to me where I am now. So definitely those things keyed into why I had that success in 2020.
Hey man, shout out to Coach Kane, who is a real one. My interactions
Yeah.
with him have always been on the level, and I'm grateful that he came up to you do that. One, because yes, Ronnie was that dude, and also
That dude.
because hey, it didn't feel like there was a lot of depth there because we didn't get to see you. And I
Right.
understand how that could feel for some folks because we only see what we see and hear what we hear.
Right.
So for you to tell this story a couple years after is a big deal to me. When did you realize that Perrion Winfrey was going to be on the level of a Ronnie Perkins?
So it was that fall camp. So, and this is kind of that transition to how I played D tackle as well. So we're in fall camp and whatnot. And, this is COVID. This is peak COVID for the football season. Guys are dropping like flies. I mean, all of our D tackles are out except for like one. And me loving the game of football, Coach Tibbs always told me, he gave me a little nugget. He said, always know more than your position because it adds value to your work. And so I'm watching film. I know DN. I mean, I can still run our defense to this day. And I was like, all right, I got my position down. Let me look at the D tackle, see what they do, just to pick up on stuff. And one day, we had a bunch of guys out. Coach Grinch walks up to me, and this is a true story. I think Coach Grinch even told it. Coach Grinch walked up to me in pre-practice, like the period before inside run and team run. Just comes up to me out of nowhere, had no warning. He said, "Hey man, you think you can play some D tackle today?" I'm like, "Oh yes sir, yeah for sure." I'm like, that's what I'm saying, but on the inside, I'm like, "Oh dang, here we go." Like I just started getting the ball rolling at DN. I'm finally starting doing my thing. Now I got to play another position. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I knew I could do it mentally. And now, I knew I could do it physically, but mentally, could I carry all that capacity of knowing the guy next to me and stuff? And to get back to where you were saying, this is how I knew Perrion Winfrey was that dude. Perrion Winfrey, he didn't know the playbook too well because obviously it was his first season there and stuff. And for him and like when Coach says, if you mess up going full speed. He was in the backfield every play. Like it got to the point where I'm like, I'm not going to run the call if I can do that. Then obviously, me and Perrion are different, And him being so gifted physically came natural to him. And then him being with me, we meshed into that mental game to where we could like do dummy calls, but we knew the real call. So that definitely benefited me at D tackle and him also as being the dominant figure he was.
Nah, man, it's great to hear you say that because one of the things that we say in my business, and I hope it's in every business, but specifically in mine, is fake it till you make it, right? Which is to
Yeah.
say, hey, look, you take every opportunity that's given to you, you figure it out on the fly, and you were able to do that. And also to that point about make your mistakes full speed, like that one translates to go all the way, whatever it is you do it.
I swear that was the definition of him in that fall camp. And he fine-tuned things up in the season. And I mean, obviously there was times I didn't run the exact thing or whatnot. And then there were things Perrion didn't run perfectly, or Nick Benito or Ronnie Perkins, but you couldn't tell at times because like we made the play or it was so fast and physical. You're like, wow, that was a great call, all this and that. And so if you mess up going full speed.
one of the things that I took from Coach Grinch in that 2020 season was twofold. One, in the way that Baylor was able to play, right? And even going back to 2019 in that Big 12 championship game, he was saying, look, first, I'm trying not to screw this up for them because apparently y'all playing out of y'all mind. And the second thing that I took from him was, hey, whatever they're doing, I'm telling them to split everybody and get into the backfield.
Yes.
Now, knowing what the defense was before he got there and what y'all were being asked to do, how freeing was it for you to know, hey, all I got to do is get into the backfield as opposed to holding people up?
Yeah, so that was a real eye opener for me because like I knew a lot of football and whatever, but I knew like 4-3-3-4, but I never knew like true schemes on like what coaches would specifically want. So with Mike Stoops, that's all I knew. So when Coach Grinch came into the scheme, and like he would like get mad at you, like quit playing in the blocks, like like know your job, know the gap that you got, and get in the backfield. I'm like, that's it. Like it sounds easier than what it actually is, but I mean that's really all it is. Really, it's like I got the B gap, so I was like, I'm gonna do everything I can to get to this B gap, and I'm not gonna let you stop me, and I'm not gonna sit there on the line of scrimmage doing what I'm not supposed to do. And that's how easy it was, man. And like Grinch said, man, we were like dogs off the leash, man. Like that 2020 season, it was Ronnie Perkins, Perrion Winfrey, me, and Nick Benito, man, and it was just dogs off a chain. Like we just running, flying in the backfield, and so that was the biggest difference I felt that with that defense was, and why I had so much success.
It's a lot of fun to watch, man. It's a lot of fun to watch. Thanks for watching this video. And remember, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos on the #1 Ranked Show YouTube channel.